This is Eric Orr. Basically, my history is I created the very first hip-hop comic in 1986. And recently, the comic book itself and some of the sketches and the source material was picked up by Cornell University, and it's now in its hip-hop and comics library and books and manuscripts. And some other recent updates is the book is also going to be in the Columbia University's library of rare books and manuscripts. So yeah, basically my story is I'm a graffiti artist from the Bronx. Started back in the 70s with a buddy of mine by the name of Ree. A friend of mine, Iron Mike, pretty much gave me my first pilot, my dry marker. Went by the name Page 2 and Easy E from Daly Avenue. Just went on, like every other kid in the Bronx, tagging up and doing graffiti and making pieces and stuff like that. And then one day I started doing chalk drawings, and as most people know, Keith Haring also did chalk drawings, and I'll get to that in a moment. I was doing some chalk drawings in my neighborhood, and decided to take the chalk drawings into the subway, the same thing that Keith Haring was doing. Long story short, Keith was out of town at one point, and I did all the black panels in the subway. He came back into town, saw my artwork, which was the robot head, and we became fast friends. Went on to do collaborations with him. I'm the only person to ever do collaborations with Keith Haring in the subway. And then a friend of mine who happens to be let me scratch that. Jazzy J, Zulu Nation. We went to school together. He started his studio because he's the first one to put a record out on Def Jam. You cats might know It's Yours. And he started a studio, and he asked me to design a logo for him, so I designed the Jazzy J logo, and we started Strong City Records, and did all the logos for those artists on that label. And while at the studio, I was just playing around with creating this 3-panel comic with my robot, and it turned into this whole comic book, and I produced it independently in '86, 500 copies, put it out there, did really well. But then I went on tour with the whole Strong City thing. Let's jump almost 30 years ahead, and it turns out that the comic book is the very first hip hop comic on the planet, and that's one of the reasons why Cornell University picked it up. So that's a small snippet of what's going on in my life, man. Yes, y'all. It's Eric Orr, and you're checking out sugarcane.com. Back to you, Billy.